A girl named Ling Zee was betrayed by villagers and sacrificed to a dragon in exchange for protection against the demon lord's army. The villagers threatened to kill her if the dragon refused to eat her. The tale unfolds in a dark dungeon, where Ling Zee, a determined young girl, faces the sleeping big bad dragon, Revandia. She offers her life in exchange for his protection against the demon lord's army, a proposal that surprises Revandia. He, the supposedly plant-eating dragon, shows fear of any trouble. Ling Zee keeps trying, tempting Revandia with the promise of her best food. To show his likes, Revandia makes a plate appear, putting Ling Zee in the middle as the main dish. She says she has no family and her village will kill her if Revandia says no. Ling Zee decides to end her life if she's not deemed worthy. The idea of violence alarms Revandia, making him come up with a good argument. Revandia says he has already taken Ling Zee's soul, which surprises her. In return, Ling Zee offers herself as Revandia's student. Together, they go to her village, where Revandia expects a warm welcome but gets a shock when they arrive. Choosing to act as the big bad dragon, he tells the villagers to take care of Ling Zee, saying he ate her soul. A thrown rock hits Revandia's face, leading to a convincing act, but he senses the real sacrifice, Rayado among them. As Rayado, the village chief's heir, has feelings for Ling Zee, Revandia sees a chance to keep her safe. But their plans are interrupted by an attack from fierce wolves. Revandia, surprised by the danger, tries to scare the beasts but they attack him back. Ling Zee steps in, showing her strong power and easily defeats the monsters. Seeing her strength, Revandia understands her great potential. After the fight, Revandia goes back to the village with Ling Zee, planning to talk to Rayado. Despite Revandia's explanations, Rayado insults him, saying he's using Ling Zee against the Demon Lord army. But Ling Zee stands up for herself, promising to defend Revandia and defeat Rayado. In a moment of thinking, Revandia asks Ling Zee if they are truly friends. Ling Zee talks to Revandia about Rayado's strange behavior since she was chosen as a sacrifice. Rayado, trying to be nice, keeps giving her clothes and suggests she leave the village. Revandia understands Rayado's feelings for Ling Zee, but Ling Zee ignores them. Instead, she plans to sneak into Rayado's house, saying there's a danger to Revandia's life as an excuse. Wearing her new clothes, Rayado likes Ling Zee's outfit, saying it protects against evil dragons. Then, Ling Zee suggests they go to the Demon Lord's mansion. She covers Revandia with wings, which surprises him at first, but he flies them away. On their way, Revandia changes Ling Zee's mind about attacking the Demon Lord. He wants to explore the world and find warriors to help them. Ling Zee uses her power, Evil Dragon Clairvoyance, to find a town with guilds and warriors, suggesting they go there. When they get to the bright town, they see it's being attacked by bird monsters. Soldiers and monsters attack when they see Revandia and Ling Zee. Ling Zee breathes fire to defeat the monsters quickly. Landing near some soldier tents, Revandia's reputation as a big bad dragon scares the soldiers. Ariant, the leader, asks for their help against the monsters. Revandia tells Ling Zee to take charge, and she fights the monsters. Meanwhile, Revandia tells Ariant to look for the monster's boss from high places. Ling Zee wins the fight and Revandia suggests she rests while the soldiers clean up. Ling Zee dreams about her dad, making Revandia feel sad for her. Ariant thanks them for their help and talks to Revandia, asking why he turned against the Demon Lord. Revandia changes the subject, asking Ariant to look after Ling Zee. Ariant doesn't trust Revandia's reasons, so Revandia tells her about Ling Zee's hidden power as a wizard. Ariant finds this hard to believe and warns Revandia about the dangers of such power. Revandia disagrees with Ariant, but she worries about what might happen if Ling Zee's power grows too much, saying she might turn into a real evil dragon. This kind of power, especially in humans, could hurt her soul, something nobody's ever heard of before. Revandia is surprised by Ariant's revelation, making her question his loyalty to the Demon King. Saying she's a strong warrior in the demon army, Ariant attacks Revandia. Ling Zee steps in to protect Revandia, but she's tired from fighting the bird monsters before, so she's easily beaten by Ariant and passes out. Now that Ling Zee is out, Ariant focuses on Revandia. Revandia thinks he's going to get hurt, but Ariant's sword only hurts him without cutting him. Ariant says her sword can't go through Revandia's tough skin. Even though she attacked him, Ariant starts to believe Revandia's claim of being a weak dragon and asks him to keep it a secret because there's a reward for catching him. This makes Revandia sad because he wants to live peacefully. Curious about Ariant's supposed job as a general in the demon army, Revandia finds out she made it up to test if he was telling the truth. Ariant tells Revandia to tell Ling Zee that what happened that night was just a dream and tells him to take care of Ling Zee because she respects him. When the sun comes up, Ling Zee wakes up and sees that Revandia is small now. She asks why he's different, and Revandia remembers Ariant giving him a potion to avoid getting noticed. He makes up a story about shrinking so he won't scare anyone, and Ling Zee believes him, which makes Revandia feel better. Deciding to leave, Revandia says they should forget about what happened. Ling Zee, listening to Revandia, thinks the whole thing was just a dream. She's thankful to Ariant and promises to protect Revandia if anyone tries to hurt him. As the townsfolk labor to repair their town, Rayado shows up, asking about Revandia. Before Ariant can answer, Rayado gets hit by a falling rock. Ariant saves him quickly, impressing everyone. Rayado wants Ariant to teach him, so she agrees, warning him about her tough training. She gives him a stinky potion to drink, saying he has to if he wants to train with her. Meanwhile, Revandia suggests they take a break because they're tired. Ling Zee offers to get food, but Revandia says no, remembering Ariant's warning. While they talk, 3 bad guys come up to them. Revandia tells Ling Zee not to fight, but when the bad guys say they're kidnappers, Revandia tells Ling Zee to knock out their leader, hurting him badly. The bad guys take Revandia and Ling Zee to their camp. Revandia tells Ling Zee to take the injured and the bad guys to a nearby town as part of her training. He plans to find food for himself. Alone in the camp, Revandia goes into a cave to find moss he likes, but he falls into a pit and meets a scary shadow, filling him with terror. He calls for Ling Zee's help. As the shadow appears into a figure, it calls out to Revandia. Panicked, Revandia flees, convinced he stands no chance against such a strong being. However, when he accidentally sets off a trap, the creature unexpectedly rescues him and even shares some food. While they eat, the creature reveals sensing an inhuman presence nearby. Revandia thinks it could be Ling Zee. Curious about the creature's solitude in the quiet cave, Revandia listens as the creature tells its tale. The creature is a hunter god who came down to Earth to teach humans the art of hunting. But as people learned from him, they began to abandon and forget him. Bound by their neglect, the hunter god now lives in isolation, only able to leave if called for guidance in hunting. Moved by the hunter god's story, Revandia suggests that the hunter god teach him how to hunt. Happy, the hunter god agrees and they leave the cave. The hunter god brags that he can teach Revandia essential hunting skills in just 3 hours. Revandia, who has struggled to master various skills for 5,000 years, doubts this claim. The hunter god insists that there are only poor teachers, not poor students, and begins Revandia's training. The first task is push-ups, but Revandia's body isn't suited for them, leading the hunter god to suggest another exercise. Revandia attempts to cross a log, but it breaks under his weight. Frustrated, the hunter god repairs the log with magic and continues the training. Yet Revandia consistently fails, crying out in frustration. Ling Zee, traveling nearby with her companions, hears his cries. Determined, the hunter god comes up with one final test involving a trap. As Revandia attempts it, the effects of a shrinking potion wear off, causing an explosion as he returns to his normal size. Realizing he cannot fulfill his promise of teaching Revandia within the set time, the hunter god grants Revandia special powers, claiming this gesture completes his obligation. He then disappears, urging Revandia to keep their encounter a secret. In the morning, Revandia wakes to Ling Zee's call. He pleads with her to never leave his side again, which makes her smile. Ling Zee then mentions discovering a town free from demon lord control and suggests that Revandia should take it over and set up his administration. Surprised by her suggestion, Revandia agrees and they move forward. As they approach the town, Ling Zee insists on taking control of it, despite Revandia's reluctance. Once they arrive, Revandia suggests setting up security measures to protect the town. Ling Zee uses her powers, revealing a protective barrier around the town. Suddenly, Revandia hears a voice in his head, urging them to leave. He tries to explain that they are merely seeking shelter, but the saint controlling the barrier panics and runs away. Ling Zee informs Revandia that she used her powers to subdue the saint by surprising her within the barrier, similar to how an evil dragon would. This makes Revandia think about his life choices. The duo then enters the town, where the townspeople are visibly afraid of Revandia. To ease their fears, Revandia asks Ling Zee about their earlier discussion. With a heavy heart, Ling Zee tells the villagers they are a circus troupe visiting to show their talents. The townspeople feel relieved and leave, except for one who stays behind to share the town's history with Revandia and Ling Zee. He explains that the town was once a desert, but a saint with the power to control water and earth turned it into a thriving community. Impressed by the story, Revandia asks him to show them a place to stay. After settling into a room, Ravandia asks Ling Zee to stay at the hotel while he explores the town. She agrees, saying she understands her task, which leaves Ravandia worried, but he still leaves. As Ravandia explores the town, he decides to find the saint to apologize for the trouble he and Ling Zee caused. The saint, however, is hiding in a bar inside a cup. When Ravandia enters the bar looking for water and tries to grab the cup, the saint runs away, thinking he wants to harm her. Ravandia keeps meeting the saint as he searches for water. Eventually, he meets some children who offer him an apple, but as he reaches for it, the saint stops him, telling the children to leave. Expecting the worst, the saint is surprised when Ravandia explains that he just wants to talk and asks that she strengthens the town's barrier. The saint, still shocked, admits that she is just a little girl and promises to tell the message to the real saint who keeps up the barrier.